right, so Blood, Profit, and Glory, John. Does this thing change everything up or what?
Yeah, quite a bit.
It's pretty incredible. So Blood, Profit, and Glory was looking at where we stood after our first Kickstarter and figuring out how can we bring something to market as soon as possible, because our fans are clamoring for more cards, they're clamoring for new deck builds, they're clamoring for everything they can possibly imagine. And we said, well, what can we do? How do we do that? And we also had this unique challenge, because in our first Kickstarter, we had 4 backers, our VIP Battle Commander backers.
Yeah,
that gave us a significant donation to help make the battle begins. That all got an opportunity to design cards. Their 4 design cards are in this expansion. And so we worked really tirelessly over the last 6 months to get their cards working exactly how they wanted them to work and making sure they didn't break the game, which we definitely ran into some challenges there. And so in turn, there's also an additional 4 cards that are commemorative to our 4 key developers in the game as well. So John has his own personal card in the game now, as well as we brought 3 new members onto the team since the last Kickstarter, right? So we probably should talk just a little bit about that. Matt Oakes is now our media director, and he's serving as also our fiction writer. So when you read fiction articles related to the lore of our game, those are all Matt's handiwork, and he loves hearing back from his fans about how well he's doing. So we definitely are super excited about Matt. Frank Ruby has come on full time. Frank's been with us since the beginning.
Pretty much.
He played the very first game that didn't work at all, right?
That's right.
We thought it was a Ferrari, and we ended up with a broken Pinto. But
it had 4 wheels.
It did have 4 wheels. Yeah. So Frank's now officially on board for us, and he's serving as our PR liaison to all of our reviewers, previewers, everybody. So when you see Battle for Solari hit the review tables, that's really all Frank's hard work at work there. And then we brought in Matt Greenleaf, and Matt's working basically as my right-hand man in development. So Matt is really helping us zero in on development and helping us create new cards and new exciting mechanics and everything. And that's Matt is a culmination of this work, him and I working together to make Blood, Profit, and Glory what it is. Basically, those 4 people, John, Matt O, Matt G, and Frank, all have their own personal cards in the packs. Right. We'll talk a little bit more about cards as we get later on into the video here today, but I think for the interim, I want to talk about some new mechanics coming to play, because they're pretty awesome and they're pretty exciting. So the first one is Quick, and Quick is pretty sweet. Quick basically says, when you play a combatant, you get that combatant reset and ready to be used the turn he comes into play. He is ready to attack, he's ready to use his abilities, he's ready to be a defender. You still have to deploy him as regular, so he's not somebody you can surprise in on your opponent's turn or something of that nature, but he's definitely much more speedy than other combatants on the battlefield right now. The second big mechanic that we've introduced is Bounty, and Bounty is probably one of my favorite abilities in the game right now.
It's kind of the hallmark feature, if you will, of this, probably, arguably.
I would think so, yeah.
This expansion.
So Bounty is going to allow you to pick one of your opponent's combatants, and your bounty combatant is going to fight with that combatant. And if the bounty combatant lives, he's going to usually get something as a benefit for that. Yeah. So it's pretty sweet. It really represents these mercenaries out seeking the heads and the trophies of their opposing enemies.
That's right.
And so there's definitely going to be some bounty in this pack. And then the last one introduces kind of it's a keyword ability, but we call it a characteristic. And it really allows us to dive into some design areas and create some synergies amongst cards. And so the Jotun are bringing their Mightiest Warriors, which is the new characteristic to the battlefield in this new pack. Right. Led by Lady Morgana, Lord Fenris' sister, and somebody that is directly disobeying Fenris. So there's a little bit of turmoil in House Hrothgar right now.
Yeah, in fact, you can see some of that dynamics happening in our fiction too. So Jesse had mentioned Matt Oakes is our writer for, it's actually Rumblings of War. So if you go to our website, just as a side note, if you really want to deep dive into that content, it's Rumblings of War is the article section on our website.
Right. So then from a further mechanical perspective, we really wanted to make sure we were accentuating what the base factions were doing in the battle kit, but we didn't want to stop there. We needed to give more deck building options. So this pack is made up of 6 brand new mercenary cards. 1 site and 5 new combatants. That means that no matter what faction you love, whether it's the Jotun or the Scythian right now, they're going to work for anybody. They go out to hire for anybody. And their abilities are incredible. They do lots of really unique and exciting things that we have not really explored up to this point. So there's a lot of new opportunity there. If you watched our trailer, you probably already saw one of those with Harp. Yeah, so definitely, if not, then Harp will be a key feature for this new pack, for sure.
Exactly.